Welcome to Twinings Tea Tasters. My name is Mark, and this month, as the summer turns into autumn here in the UK, we've got a very special tea that might warm up the heart as the temperature begins to drop. Now this is a Keemun tea, a Keemun black tea, and this is made from the Camellia sinensis, or predominantly known as the China leaf. And the Keemun black tea occupies a very special niche in the tea drinking world. It's a good quality, soft, well-balanced black tea that's good enough to be taken with milk, or equally delicious to be taken without milk. It's going to be an absolutely joy to taste, and I hope you look forward to taking a sample with me. Now, Keemun is a town and a county in China, in the province of Anhui, and it's a beautiful story that goes with this black tea. Actually, a government official was visiting the area around 1875, and it said that he was trying to discover some of the secrets of green tea, and accidentally discovered that using the China leaf he could make a perfectly delicious black tea. And that is the very birth of the first Keemun teas. Now, this particular area of China was synonymous with trading and heavy tea trading during that period, so it wasn't long at all before Keemun started to turn up on the breakfast tables and afternoon tea sets of the rich and famous and those who like tea around the world. The China leaf produces this beautiful black Keemun tea, and of course the way that black tea is produced changes significantly depending on where you are in the world, the elevation, the type of weather that you have. But some of the principles that apply is that the tea, is plucked. It's then withered, so it has some of its moisture taken out of it. That makes the leaf slightly more malleable, so it can be rolled and release some of those delicate enzymes and juices from the inside of the leaf that then coat the outside of the leaf. And it's the oxidization over a period of time to those sticky enzymes that eventually turn the tea black. It's then baked or fired to remove any remaining moisture, and there go, a black tea. Let's have a go at making some of our Keemun black tea. Now, there are 3 or 4 different grades of Keemun tea that people are aware of, and this is probably more synonymous with some of the finer, more twisted leaf associated with Gongfu Keemun, and we're going to have a go at making it in a kind of Gongfu fashion, or my Gongfu fashion. So I'll show you how to do that a little bit later on. But as ever on Tea Tasters, we're going to have a look at the leaf, and like I was saying, a beautiful black twisted leaf. And very often in many parts of the world, tea is bought on the colour and the shape of its leaf. And when you come up to have a look at this in a bit more detail in a second, you'll see just what a really attractive and engaging tea it is to use. You can see me here playing with it consistently. It's a great tea. So on Tea Tasters, of course, we can use our teapot, and you can pre-warm your pots, always advisable. And pre-warm your cups as well. But I'm going to put a good 6 teaspoons or heaped teaspoons of this into the pot. Now, interestingly, Keemun was also known by many as China Black. So if that's a name that resonates with you, you're certainly going to be able to enjoy this tea as a blast from the past, as some people say. So I'm just going to fill this up now with our hot water. And then while that's filling up there, I'm just going to show you the Gongfu method here. So these are some small, delicate wares that are associated with drinking black tea. And this is a particular fashion that I like to drink Keemun with. So we have a small pot here, and we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail in just a second. Because of the delicacy of Keemun tea, you can leave it a little bit longer to brew. It's got some very delicate tannins, so slightly longer to steep it certainly isn't going to do any harm. In fact, would bring out probably some of those deeper flavours that you find in a very good quality loose leaf tea. And of course, our tea tasters at Twinings, we use this tea tasting equipment here. I'm going to put 1 heaped teaspoon into the pot, and again fill that with some hot water. And try and use freshly drawn water, because it's really important to try and keep as much dissolved oxygen within the water as possible. And boiling it and boiling it and boiling it can remove some of that. And I'm just going to put a teaspoon of tea in there. In fact, I like it slightly stronger. And the beauty with this is, doing it in this fashion, you can brew multiple times. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And you know, your first brew you might only want to leave for a minute and then start to appreciate some of those really delicate flavours that are being released by the leaf, and subsequent brewing or subsequent steeping can release slightly different flavours. So like I was saying, about a minute possibly for the first go, minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes and so forth, until you start to exhaust all the natural flavour coming from the leaf. The first thing that's really striking with Keemun is the beautiful and unmistakable deep tan coppery colour that comes off the leaf, and also the aroma. I mean, aroma is one of the important attributes of tasting tea, and the aroma coming off this is slightly smoky and somewhat plummy. There's a great word as we go into autumn. Slightly plummy aroma. So I'm just going to pop that in there, give that a little twirl. Now you can see here on our little gong fu set that that very first brew is produced a very amber liquor there, and I'm just going to pour that into my little pot. And you know what, it's always great to see a tea looking attractive in the cup, and the light is just bouncing off the surface of this beautiful ruby red with a hint of greenness in there. That's a good quality Keemun tea. And we're just going to have a little slurp here and a little taste and see if we can unlock or find some of those deeper flavours within the leaf. So, beautiful. I always describe, personally, flavour as a journey of taste through time and through your body. And Keemun is one of those teas that ticks all those boxes. You get a sensation straight away, and then you get a good follow through, you get good aftertaste coming through. It's deep, it's plummy, velvety might be a way of describing it, and in my mouth I can feel a slight draw down to the bottom of the jaw. This is a beautiful tea, and like I said, maybe a dash of milk, but equally good without. And if you're going to use your little gong fu method, I enjoy it with a cup and saucer. So this has been Keemun, one of the most famous black teas in the world, and probably associated with some early English breakfast recipes, but it's an absolute delight to drink any time of the day. A soft golden amber colour, really, really tasty, plummy, deep velvety notes. It's going to be an absolute delight for you to enjoy over the turning seasons that are ahead of us. And so until next time, happy tea times.